Have you ever wondered what life could feel like if you could move freely, without stiffness or pain, well into your 80s or even your 90s? Picture yourself stepping out into the sunshine each morning, stretching with ease, walking without hesitation, maybe even tending a small garden, feeling steady and strong with every step. For many people around the world, this sounds like a dream that fades with age. But for the seniors of Okinawa, Japan, it's simply everyday life. In Okinawa, it's not unusual to see men and women in their 9th or even 10th decade walking to the market, pedaling a bicycle down the street, or bending easily to plant vegetables in their gardens. They aren't pushing themselves through grueling workouts or following expensive fitness programs. Instead, they've built lives that naturally keep their bodies moving and their joints supple, almost without thinking about it. And here's the best part. These habits are so simple, you can start incorporating them into your own life today. So what makes Okinawan seniors so different? It's not about having better genes or luck. While genetics play a role in overall health, research shows that lifestyle has a far greater impact on how we age. The way Okinawans move, eat, and live day to day creates a kind of ripple effect, keeping them not only mobile but vibrant for decades longer than the global average. One of the first things you notice when you spend time in Okinawa is how much movement is built into daily life. They don't work out in the way we might think of it. There are no gym memberships or structured exercise plans for most people. Instead, they practice what's called natural movement. This means they move as part of their everyday activities. They garden, they sweep their yards, they walk to visit friends, they kneel and stand many times throughout the day, as they sit on floor-level mats instead of chairs. These small, frequent movements act like gentle training for the muscles and joints, keeping them strong and flexible without overstrain. Imagine the difference between spending hours sitting in a recliner versus getting up every 20 minutes to tend to a plant, make tea, or walk to a neighbor's house. Those microbursts of movement add up. Over years, they become the foundation for lasting mobility. This approach is something you can bring into your own life without feeling like you have to overhaul everything. Simply asking yourself, how can I add a little more movement into what I'm already doing, can be a game changer. Take the stairs instead of the elevator, carry groceries in smaller loads to make more trips, or start each morning with a few gentle stretches before your day begins. Another quiet but powerful factor in their ease of movement is diet. Okinawan cuisine is colorful, light, and deeply nourishing. They eat plenty of vegetables, sweet potatoes, seaweed, tofu, and small amounts of fish. Meals are rich in anti-inflammatory foods that protect the joints and muscles from stiffness and swelling. It's not just about what they eat, it's also about how much they eat. They follow the principle of hara-hachi-bu, which means eating until you're about 80% full. This simple habit helps them maintain a healthy weight, which reduces strain on the joints and makes movement more comfortable at any age. It's easy to underestimate how much carrying extra weight affects mobility. Every extra pound adds pressure to your knees, hips, and ankles with every step you take. By keeping their weight naturally lower through mindful eating, Okinawans protect their joints without even thinking about it. And here's something to consider. You don't have to adopt an entirely Japanese diet to benefit. Even making small changes, like adding more vegetables to your meals, swapping one processed snack for a fresh piece of fruit, or slowing down while eating so you can notice when you're full, can bring you closer to that same balance. Just as important as movement and food is the mindset they carry. In Okinawa, there is a deep sense of purpose that runs through life at every age. They call it ikigai, which loosely translates to a reason for being. For some, it's a passion for gardening or cooking. For others, it's caring for grandchildren, volunteering in the community, or creating art. Having something to wake up for each morning isn't just good for mental health. It has a direct impact on physical health too. Purpose encourages people to stay active, to get up and move, to keep engaging with life. And that engagement builds resilience in both body and mind. You might be thinking, that all sounds wonderful, but my life is different. I have responsibilities, limitations, aches that make movement harder. The truth is, you don't need to replicate Okinawan life exactly to experience the benefits. You can start right where you are. Maybe that means rearranging your home so you get up more often. Maybe it's trying one new recipe this week that's packed with fresh vegetables. Maybe it's taking a short walk after lunch each day, even if it's just around your yard or down the hall. The key is consistency. In Okinawa, These habits aren't occasional, they're woven into the rhythm of everyday life. It's not about perfection. It's about doing small, sustainable things over and over again, until they become second nature. You don't have to run marathons or spend hours lifting weights. You simply have to move often, nourish your body well, and hold on to a reason to keep going. Now that we've explored how natural movement, mindful eating, and a strong sense of purpose form the foundation for long-lasting mobility, we can start looking at how these elements work together over time, creating a kind of protective shield for your health and independence. When the body, mind, and spirit are all cared for in small, intentional ways, the results can be remarkable. When you spend time observing the lives of Okinawan seniors, one thing becomes clear: they don't separate health from living. It's all one continuous experience. The choices they make about where they live, who they spend time with, and how they interact with their environment are all quietly working together to keep them moving with ease. A big part of this is the way their surroundings encourage movement without forcing it. Many live in close-knit neighborhoods where their homes are within walking distance of small markets, friends' houses, and gathering spots. The streets are often narrow and shaded, inviting slow strolls rather than fast, stressful traffic. Even the act of visiting a neighbor involves a little bit of walking, some gentle hills, maybe a few steps up to the doorway. Over time, these micro-movements keep muscles active and joints lubricated in a way that no machine at the gym can truly replicate. And then there's the social magic of Okinawa, something they call moe. A moe is a small group of friends who commit to supporting each other throughout life. They meet regularly, often over tea or a meal, sharing not just food but laughter, stories, and encouragement. You might not think of this as something that affects mobility, but it does. Social connection keeps people engaged, giving them more reasons to get up, get dressed, and leave the house. It keeps depression at bay, lowers stress, and in turn, reduces inflammation in the body. A body free of constant inflammation moves more easily, heals faster, and feels better doing it. It's worth asking yourself, do you have a moe in your life? It doesn't have to be formal. It could be a weekly coffee date with a friend, a walking group, or a neighbor you check in with. The point is to create a sense of accountability and joy around connecting with others. When you know someone is expecting you, you're more likely to get up and move, even on days you might otherwise stay home. Another overlooked secret to Okinawan mobility is how they interact with the ground. Many still sit on floor mats instead of chairs, which means they are constantly transitioning from sitting to standing. This simple, repeated movement keeps their core strong, their legs engaged, and their balance sharp. It's essentially a form of functional strength training built right into their day. You don't have to change all your furniture to try this. You can start by spending part of your day on a low seat or on a cushion on the floor, then standing up without using your hands. Over time, you'll notice your legs feeling stronger and your movements more controlled. Their posture is also something to admire. Because they remain active in small, consistent ways, their muscles stay engaged, supporting the spine naturally. Combine that with a diet rich in calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D from foods like fish, tofu, and leafy greens, and you have a recipe for bones and muscles that can handle decades of movement. Good posture reduces wear and tear on the joints and makes every movement, whether it's walking, bending, or lifting, more efficient. It's also important to note how much time Okinawans spend outdoors. Fresh air, sunlight, and the calming effect of nature all play a role in mobility. Vitamin D from sunlight supports bone health, and simply being outside reduces stress hormones that can otherwise damage tissues over time. Many Okinawan seniors tend gardens, not as a chore, but as a source of joy and pride. Gardening means bending, lifting, stretching, and walking, all forms of movement that keep the body supple. And because the work is purposeful, it doesn't feel like exercise. It feels like living. You can bring a piece of this into your own life by finding small ways to connect with nature daily. Maybe it's tending a few potted plants, taking a short walk in the park, or even just stepping outside in the morning to breathe deeply and stretch. The point isn't to burn calories, it's to keep your body in the habit of moving in gentle, varied ways that build strength without strain. One more subtle but powerful factor is the pace at which life moves in Okinawa. There's no constant rush, no frantic multitasking. That slower rhythm reduces chronic stress, which is one of the most damaging forces on our muscles, joints, and overall health. When stress is low, the body is more efficient at repairing itself. Muscles recover faster, sleep is deeper, and energy levels remain steady. And when you feel energized, you naturally move more. If you've ever noticed that your body feels heavier and your steps slower when you're stressed, you've already experienced this connection. Creating pockets of calm in your day, whether through a few minutes of quiet breathing, listening to soothing music, or enjoying a mindful cup of tea, can have a ripple effect on how well you move. As you can see, the mobility of Okinawan seniors isn't the result of one single habit. It's the combined effect of their environment, their social lives, their connection to nature, and the slow, steady rhythm of their days. And while your life may look very different from theirs, the principles that keep them moving are universal. With a few adjustments, you can start weaving them into your own life in ways that feel natural and sustainable. That's where the final pieces come in, the personal choices you make each day that determine how your body will feel 5, 10, or even 20 years from now. The kind of small but intentional steps that don't just help you stay mobile, but help you feel truly alive in every season of life. When you think about moving well into your 90s, it's easy to imagine that it must take an intense commitment or a life without setbacks. But if there's one thing the lives of Okinawan seniors teach us, it's that mobility at any age isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about small, intentional choices repeated over time, choices that build strength, preserve balance, and keep the joy of movement alive. One of those choices is to never stop learning new ways to move. In Okinawa, you might see someone in their 80s or 90s trying a new dance, joining in on a community Tai Chi class, or taking up a traditional craft that involves steady handwork and posture. Movement isn't something that has a start and end date. It's a lifelong relationship. This attitude keeps both the body and the brain engaged, which is critical for coordination and preventing falls. The more variety you give your body, the more resilient it becomes. There's also a deep respect for rest. While they stay active, Okinawan seniors are not afraid to slow down when their bodies need it. They listen to the signals of fatigue or strain and respond with gentleness instead of forcing themselves to push through pain. Rest isn't laziness. It's part of the cycle that allows muscles and joints to recover and grow stronger. In our own busy lives, it's easy to ignore the need for rest, but building in moments of recovery, whether through a short nap, a peaceful walk, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea, can help your body stay capable for years to come. Another lesson is their focus on balance, both physically and in life. Many of the movements they do, like standing from a seated position without using their hands, walking on uneven paths, or practicing slow, controlled steps naturally strengthen the stabilizing muscles that keep them steady. Falls are one of the biggest risks to mobility in later life, and these small daily challenges to balance act as insurance against that risk. Even something as simple as standing on one leg while brushing your teeth or walking slowly heel-to-toe across a room can begin to train your balance in ways that will pay off decades from now. What ties all of these habits together is a sense of joy. Movement isn't something they dread, it's something they look forward to. Whether it's gardening, sharing a walk with a friend, or cooking a family recipe, the activities that keep them mobile are rooted in purpose and connection. When movement has meaning, it doesn't feel like a chore. It becomes something you want to protect, and that desire becomes a powerful motivator to keep going. And perhaps the most inspiring takeaway from Okinawan life is that it's never too late to start. Many people there don't even think about exercise as something separate. They simply start incorporating more natural movement at any point in life. If you begin today, even with something small, you've already taken a step toward the future you want. So what does this mean for you? It means you can create your own version of an Okinawan lifestyle, right where you are. You can design your days so that movement is woven into them. You can choose foods that fuel your body instead of weighing it down. You can build a small circle of friends who encourage you to stay active, connected, and engaged. And you can give yourself permission to live at a pace that supports your health rather than drains it. The truth is, your mobility is your freedom. It's the difference between relying on others and being able to live life on your own terms. Every step you take toward protecting that mobility is a step toward a future where you can keep doing the things you love. Whether that's traveling, playing with your grandchildren, or simply enjoying a walk in the fresh air. So start today. Add a little more movement to your morning. Make your next meal colorful and nourishing. Call a friend and plan to meet for a walk. Choose one small thing, do it, and then keep doing it until it becomes part of you. Over time, you'll find yourself moving more easily, feeling lighter, and carrying the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are taking care of the body that carries you through life. You have the power to shape how you age. You have the power to move with ease for decades to come. And just like the Okinawan seniors who inspire us, you have the power to fill your life with movement, connection, and purpose, one small choice at a time. Here's to living well, moving freely, and enjoying every single day, no matter your age. If you found this inspiring, I'd love to hear what small change you're starting with today. Share it in the comments, because your story might just inspire someone else. And if you want more uplifting, practical tips to help you stay strong and active, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.